Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. And in this class, we are looking at an IELTS speaking part 1 about your sports activities, a very common topic for the IELTS speaking exam for the introductions. Welcome, Fuang. Hi, Natty. Domenico, nice to see you in the class. Welcome, Carolina, our chat moderator. Students, if you have questions about the class, you can ask Carolina in the chat, as well as myself, Elizabeth, Shakshi, Khan. Good to see many of our students. I hope everybody is having a great start to their week so far. Students, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS, visit us there. For general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are the websites that power these live classes with practice exams, audio materials, and with our speaking interface. We will speak to students in this class. You will actually hear proper speaking questions and answers along with strategy. So definitely check out the websites. This is our academic IELTS website here at aehelp.com. All you need to do to join our premium IELTS package is click that big red button that's just right above my head there. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. Doesn't cost a lot, and we help thousands of students every single day. You can read their success stories here on this page. There are just so many of them. We love to hear your success stories. So those of you who regularly watch us, when you pass your IELTS and get a good score, do send us an email. We love to hear about them. For general IELTS, same idea with the green background here. So you can click that big red button there. And it's a one-time payment, again, for lifetime access. We have this code for everybody that you can use on the websites for another 10%. It's called HI9X. It's a new code to get 10% off the premium version of the course. And of course, we have apps that you can link to the websites: Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help, Instagram, IELTS_AE Help, GIELTS Help. That's where we post our schedules, vocabulary for the IELTS. So really good to follow us on Instagram also. And if you have questions, you can get answers. You can get answers in this class. If you don't get answers in the class, email me, adrian@aehelp.com, admin@aehelp.com. Shitij Walukar, good luck on your exam tomorrow, on your speaking exam. You've joined the right class to get some excellent tips to maximize your score. That's fantastic. Students, we've got classes for you all the way until Saturday. So right now, speaking part 1. Tomorrow we will have reading for members, then listening parts 3, parts 4 for subscribers. Definitely subscribe, it's free, and you'll get notifications of these live classes. We'll have speaking part 2, speaking part 3 on Saturday. We released a new video a couple of days ago. That's an IELTS speaking band 4, which is a advanced beginner level of English. And the goal of that video is to show you why some candidates get a band 4 and how to avoid that. So what you need to do to get a better score. There's that video in the chat there for you. You can check that out later on when you have a minute. Now let's jump into our speaking. So students, IELTS speaking part 1. It's the first part of the speaking, and you have to do well. First impressions are really important for people, for everybody. We're programmed for first impressions. It's part of human nature. In fact, not only humans, but animals as well are programmed for first impressions. It's part of our nature. It's part of our instinctual heritage. Why? Well, because first impressions over the millennia, thousands and thousands of years allowed us to survive. We got a sense of, can we trust this person? Is this person dangerous for us? So what's going on here? So first impressions are very, very important. Nobody can ignore them, not even a well-trained examiner. So you have to speak really well, and you have to speak confidently, okay, right from the beginning. And one way to do that is through practice. So make sure that you speak and repeat throughout this class, okay? Again, I speak with a West Coast style of English, North American West Coast style here in Victoria. So if you travel to Vancouver, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, then you will hear a similar style of English with maybe slight variations, but very similar sounding for sure. All right, so you go to your IELTS exam. Please, students, first and most important tip I can give you is go 1 hour before your test starts so you can be confident, so you know your surroundings, and of course, so you practice your English. Languages are challenging for the brain, so you need to switch your brain into English an hour, at least an hour before your exam starts. I recommend speaking English only on the day of your test, okay? Nav Kaur says, okay, boss. Chen says, first impression is last impression. Yes, that's a saying, Chen, and it's often very, very true. If you make a bad first impression, it's hard to climb out of that hole. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so students, you go early, you practice. Okay, you speak English, you get focused, you go to the bathroom, you get some water in you, you get calm, you take some deep breaths. And then you go into your test and you register 20 minutes before it starts. You remember all of your key strategies. What are some key strategies that you should remember? So, key strategies, be confident, right? Be yourself, okay? Show up an hour early. Use English only. All right. What are some of the other really important points that you need to remember? Well, Nguyen says be punctual. Nguyen, if you're not punctual for your IELTS speaking test, you won't be able to attend it. They started on time. You cannot be late for that. Okay, Fuang says be fluent. Fuang, how can you be fluent? All right. Bogdan says speak in full sentences. Yeah, so speak in full sentences. And when we say speak in full sentences, we're also saying use complex and compound sentences with linking words, or better put, with subordinating conjunctions. Right. Yes, absolutely. Okay. All right. I agree. That is a very good idea. Okay, Karshin says, yeah, be original. Yeah, avoid the use of templates. I agree with you for sure. Okay. Fong says, smile with the examiner. Yeah, that's part of confidence, Fong. So when we smile, we build confidence naturally. So remember to smile. Yeah, that will help you to relax. Absolutely. All right. Okay. Students, one of the key strategies, and I'm still a little bit nervous when I don't see anybody mentioning this in the chat. As soon as I ask about key strategies, it makes me nervous if I don't see at least 4 or 5 of these immediately in the chat, is to answer, explain, and give an example. I should maybe like tattoo this on my forehead. Could you imagine? But it would definitely help a lot of people. So answer, explain, and example. Okay? That's so important. Like today we're talking about sports, and because candidates are nervous, even people who have good English, they get a question like, what's your favorite sport? And they're like, I love football. Okay. Can you tell me why? Right? Some person shouldn't have to ask you why you love football, right? So you need to, and that's a part of that fluency that I think it was Bogdan that was mentioning earlier, right? So it is a motto, Bogdan: answer, explain, example. Okay, it's so important. All right. All right. Nguyen Sun Lee, that's fantastic. Nguyen Sun Lee says, I already got my IELTS certificate. Now I'm studying in Germany, and I still open your live broadcast. It helps me not to forget my English skills. Good for you, Nguyen. Yeah, English is a life skill. It's not just an IELTS skill. Absolutely. Okay. All right. Nuv Kaur says, I love many games, but most I like is football. I play it with my siblings. Yeah, but Nuv, why do you like football? What do you like about football? I love it because it's a team sport. I get to meet up with my friends. It's a good exercise for my body and my brain, right? So you have to give a reason, okay, why you like it. It's really simple to forget explanations. All right, let's get into some questions, students, and I'll give you some more tips and strategies as we move along, okay? So you go into your speaking test and you meet with the examiner, and the examiner's sitting there and they see a lot of candidates every day. To them, you're just a number. So you have to be loud, you have to be confident, okay? The examiner will say, welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. The test is being conducted at Exam Center 7Q93Y in Vancouver. The time right now is 14 o'clock. I'm going to give you some instructions. This is candidate number 77958172. I'm recording this for marking and clerical purposes. For part one, I will ask you some questions to get to know you a little bit better and some questions on a general topic. Before we begin, may I see your identification? So to them, this is just automatic. They say it so much that it's like a tape recorder in their brain. They just okay, so you have to turn on the light bulb for them. Ding! Light bulb goes off. Hey, here's a human talking to me. Okay, so you're the one that has to really just make that impression, right? It's not an English teacher. They're getting paid no matter what. They're not there to teach you vocabulary or to give you a fun class or a fun lesson. No, it's your job to make that impression and turn on that light bulb in their head that says, hey, I'm a human, I have good English skills, I have an interesting story for you. Okay. You and Andy says, yes, sure, here's mine, sir. Bit on the simple side. All right. Fluency. One good way to turn on that light bulb is to show fluency right away from the very beginning. And so you want to be original. So Bogdan here says, yes, certainly. Here's my international passport, which I have used to register for this exam. Please have a look. All right. Not bad, Bogdan. There's just one oddity here. We don't say international passport. It's intrinsic. So it's kind of awkward to say that. So yes, certainly. Here's my passport, which I have registered to use for this exam. Please have a look. That is good. Okay, that works. All right. Again, students, repeat after me. Benson Zetri says, hey guys, is passport, or asking, Benson's asking, hey guys, is passport compulsory? You will find that out when you register. So in some countries, they only accept your passport as your identification. I believe in India, it's only your passport. In some countries, they accept your national ID card. It has to be an official government ID, and you have to check when you register. So in some countries, you can use your driver's license or your national ID card if you don't have a driver's license, but you have to check, okay? Passport's usually the safest, easiest. All right. Elizabeth Jordan has an answer for us. Let's take one more here. Elizabeth Jordan says, gladly, here's my passport that I used to register for the exam. Yeah, it's good, Elizabeth. I would probably finish this by saying, please take a look at it. Okay. All right. Please take a look at it. Sure. Okay, next question. A very typical question. Do you work or study? So give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Now, remember your correlative conjunction, students. So correlative conjunctions are really good. Not only, but also, both, and, whether, or, neither, nor. Okay? These are your correlative conjunctions. Okay? And they are really good to use. I recommend using one at the very beginning with these kind of opening questions just to remind yourself like, oh yeah, use these conjunctions. They're going to help me get some scores. So I am both a student of psychology at the master's level, and I am working as a teacher assistant at my university 20 hours a week to make ends meet. Okay, so here is a sentence for you that answers this question with a nice correlative conjunction. Okay, let me just fix the spacing here so I don't have to keep doing this. Okay. All right. So here we go. Do you work or study? I am both a student of psychology at the master's level, and I am working as a teacher assistant at my university 20 hours a week to make ends meet. Make ends meet means, it's an idiom, it means to be able to pay for bills. Make ends meet, have enough money for life. Okay? That's what that idiom means. Make sure to copy and write down new information. Okay? So let's see. Natty. Has an answer for us. Natty says, I do both. I study English to prepare for the IELTS exam, and I work as a head waitress part-time in a restaurant in the city center. Okay, so good. Now, students, be intuitive. That means think with the mind of your listener. So, Natty, this is good. We can make it even better, right? Always. We can always make communication better. So, I do both. Yep. I study English to prepare for the IELTS exam. And I work as a head waitress part-time in a restaurant in the city center. I manage 5 other servers at my job. Okay. Why? Because Natty is telling me that she is a head waitress. Okay. That means that she tells other waitresses and waiters what to do. They're also called servers if you want to be gender neutral. So that's immediately the question, Natty. If I'm the listener, my question is, oh, you're a head waitress. That's kind of cool. I wonder how many other people you supervise, right? So I manage, or even better vocabulary here is I supervise 5 other servers and bussers. Bussers? Yeah, bussers at my job. Anybody know what a busser is? What's a busser? I used to bus when I was when I was a younger man, when I was 18, 19. I bet Natty knows what a busser is. What is a busser? They're also called bus boys, kind of politically incorrect these days, but we call them a bus boy. Okay. Yeah, that's right, Romelia. Romelia says it's a table cleaner. Yes. The person at a restaurant who cleans and sets up the tables. So if you work at a bigger restaurant that gets busy, especially if it's fine dining, you have servers and you have bussers. So you have servers bring out the food, but they don't clean the tables. Bussers clean the tables. Okay? They're not bouncers, they're bussers. Okay? All right. So there is a new word for you. Sometimes bussers will bring like juice or drink to the table, but usually they clean and set up the tables. They're called bussers. Electro says table wipers. Yes, they also wipe the tables and put new tablecloth on. So they set up the table. Yeah. Okay. Good. So there are a couple of examples for you. Again, do you work or study? I am both a student of psychology at the master's level and I am working as a teacher assistant at my university 20 hours a week to make ends meet. Natty says, I do both. I study English to prepare for the IELTS exam and I work as a head waitress part-time in a restaurant in the city center. I supervise 5 other servers and bussers at my job. All right, new vocabulary, busser or busboy, and make ends meet. Next question. How did you get to this exam? Okay. Students never try to predict questions. That's just silly. There are a lot of silly videos out there that try to get you to click on them with silly titles like prediction for your April 29th exam. No. Okay. They will ask you questions that you are not ready for in advance. You should just be ready for any question, okay? So they can ask you this question, like, how did you get to this exam? Let's see if I can get this a little bit bigger for you. There you go. The bigger, the better. All right. How did you get to this exam? Vuong says, well, I took the 24 bus and then walked the rest of the way. I consider going here by public transit, not only saving my time and energy, but also being environmentally conscientious. Okay? Conscientious means aware, thinking about. All right, so this is Fuang. Fuang, you're a bronze member now. That is awesome. That means you've been a member for at least, I think 6 months is what that means. Good for you, Fuang. So Fuang says, well, I know that she's a bronze member because of the head, the bronze hero head that we have here. All right, Fuang says, well, I took the 24 bus and then walked the rest of the way to this exam. Okay, nice natural English. I chose to get here by public transit, not only to save time and energy, but also being environmentally conscientious. Okay. And then maybe finish with, it took me 30 minutes in total. Okay, now it's okay to give a question that long. However, you have to be fluent. Okay, so you have to say, if you're saying an answer this long for these first few questions, it's really important that you're fluent, because if you're not, the examiner will not wait. They will interrupt you. Okay, they have to get through part 1, part 2, part 3 still. So, well, I took the 24 bus and then I walked the rest of the way to this exam. I chose to get here not only to save time and energy, but also to be environmentally conscientious. It took me about 30 minutes. All right. Benson says, hey, Adrian, if someone misunderstands the question, how can I maintain or improve on the spot? Well, Benson, just ask for a repeat, first of all. So say, I'm a bit nervous. I didn't catch what you're saying. Can you ask me that again, please? Okay. Now, you shouldn't have to do that for something like, what do you like to do at the weekends? Okay. So make sure that, you reserve that kind of repetition for later on. But if you miss a question, Benson, Benson is asking, if I miss a question, what can I do? Just say, I'm sorry, I'm nervous and I didn't catch that question. Could you please ask me again? Or could you please repeat it? Okay? That's a good way to do it, Benson. All right? But then really pay attention when they ask you a second time, okay? All right. What do you like to do at the weekend? Let's see. Angel says, I'm afraid we'll lose scores in this way. No, not necessarily, Angel. It depends what you do in the rest of the test. If you look, students, at the publicly available marking criteria for the speaking, even at band 9, it says can make some mistakes like natural speakers, okay, or native speakers. So if you look at the official marking criteria, so Google official IELTS speaking marking criteria PDF, okay, and you will discover that even the band 9 level at the top, there will be a part that will say makes some mistakes or makes mistakes rarely that do not affect comprehension and are considered natural mistakes. Okay, now what are natural mistakes, right? Like what? Well, one natural mistake is to not catch the question. Okay, we're all human, so we're sitting in a 15-minute exam, and the examiner asks us 25 questions during that time. It's natural to miss one because you're nervous or to not get it clearly. So if you say, sorry, I'm a bit nervous, can you please repeat that? I didn't quite catch it. It's fine. You could still get a band 9 as long as you're focused and you do a great job. Okay? All right. So back to this question, what do you like to do at the weekends? On Nguyen has this answer for us. I like this answer one. I saw it from the corner of my eye. Owen says, since I'm a ferocious reader, I often spend my whole weekend devouring some books. Recently, I've been reading a book called The Great Gatsby, written by the renowned author Scott Fitzgerald. Okay, that's really good, Owen. I love the use of vocabulary. You're like a reading animal, right? So the word ferocious, it's kind of similar to ferocious. So ferocious is an avid reader, somebody that's just like read, I must read, a very dedicated reader. Devour means to completely absorb and rip apart. So the wolf devoured the rabbit after 5 days of starvation, right? So ferocious is extremely adamant, okay, very energized to complete a goal. All right, you can think about it that way. That's somebody who's being ferocious. They're really intense to finish that goal. And then the word devour, it's a very nice verb. Devour means to tear apart and feast. Okay, so a good example here for you would be the wolf devoured the rabbit after a week of starvation. Okay, repeat these words, students, so learn vocabulary, learn these examples from me. All right. Okay, so on, that's a good example, or it's a good answer. I feel it's missing the example. So since I'm a voracious it's missing the explanation, I should say. Since I'm a voracious reader, I often spend my whole weekend devouring some books. I love to immerse myself in a good story to unwind and feel excited. Okay, so I would stretch it a little bit more on with that. Okay, and we can see the wolf emoji by Carolina just in case somebody is not sure about what kind of animal a wolf is. All right, irregular plural, by the way, students. It's wolf, and plural is wolves. F turns to a V kind of situation. Wolves, wolf, wolves. Okay, students, part one, let's get into talking about sports. And very soon, I will take volunteers to speak with. So we're moving along nicely. Tons of English here in the first half hour. All right, let's talk about sports. So at this point, you know, the examiner is getting an idea of who you are. They're starting to judge your English. Some candidates, they think, oh, these first few questions, they don't think about my English because they want me to feel comfortable. They don't want me to be nervous. It's true. Those introductory questions, the goal, they are icebreakers, and they want you to feel calm, get some confidence. But it's not completely true that they're not measuring your English, okay? Band 8, Band 9, even a Band 7 level candidate, even if they're very nervous or a shy type of person, will be able to answer the introductory questions without too many problems. So if you're having problems right at the beginning, the examiner's going, it's probably a Band 5, maybe 6 student. We'll see how they do in part 1 or 2 or 3. So you can't botch. You cannot botch part 1. Or sorry, you cannot botch the introductory questions. All right, let's talk about sports. When you hear a word like sports, you should immediately think about synonyms, okay? So a really good exercise before your IELTS, so pre-IELTS exercise, is what's called word association games, okay? And you can do this in pairs or in groups. It's really fun, okay? So get a partner or groups, say a word, and the other person has to say an associated word, okay? For example, we'll do it with sport. This will help your brain to think quickly and come up with English vocabulary quickly. So sport, athletics. Okay. What else comes to mind? So keep thinking of the word sport. You can sometimes play it like where it's athletics and then you say athletes. But keep thinking of the word sports. It has to be related to the topic of sports. So athletes. Physical activity. Very good, Fong. Okay. New and very good. Competitive. Warming up. Very good, Chayani. Stadium. Very good, Bogdan. Team spirit. I love it, Theory. Very good. Very nice one. Amra. Stretching the body. Very nice. Dylan. Olympics. Yes. capital, right? Excellent. Nguyen, team player. Swimming. Bogdan says pulling a muscle. Yes. Nguyen, very good strategy. Sweating. Apchima, very nice. Dylan, sportsmanship, excellent. Okay. Zachariah, gym. And Zahra, agility. Davud, blood circulation. Yes, the circulatory system. Vishal, captain, very nice. Captain of the team, yes. Domenico, martial arts. Nguyen, physique. Absolutely. Arami, workout. Tarun, fitness. Very nice. Zachariah, cardio. Okay, excellent. Excellent. Well done, everybody. And lots more coming. Okay? Fantastic. So, students, that's what you want to do. Okay? This is called a word association game. You should play lots of these word association games with the topics of part 1, part 2, part 3, so that you train your brain to click, 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 and really get into the rhythm of these words. They will help you to give good quality answers with good detail. Yes, thumbs up. Word association games. And it's fun. It's fun. And try to be fast. Speed is good here. Healthy body, healthy mind, right? Expressions, injuries, jazz, very good. Carolina says, thumbs up. Fuang, Domenico, Chen, Amra. Love those emojis. Awesome. Nipa, very good. So again, students, just repeat these. Pronunciation, watch my mouth. Athletics, athletes, physical activity, competitive, competition, contest, tournament, warm up, stadium, team spirit. Notice that those two kind of melt. Team spirit. Stretching. Olympics. Team player. Sportsman. Sportsmanship. Swimming. Pulled muscle. Muscle cramp. Strategy. Sweat. Get a good sweat on. Gym. Agility. Blood circulation. Cardiovascular exercise. Captain. Martial arts. Physique. Workout. Fitness. Cardio. Cardio has to do with the heart. Okay? All right. Let's get into the first question. Do you play any sports? If yes, which ones? Give me some nice full sentence answers for this one. Do you play any sports? If yes, which ones? All right. So, Zarina says, yes, of course I will. I love the gym. It is full of energetic feelings. If I work out in the gym, I feel confident and my bad feelings go out in my mind. Okay, Zarina, this would probably get you around a band 5. It's awkward. It's a bit of a strange answer. tell you why in a moment. And there's some awkward language. So you have to really work on natural language. Zarina, lots of repetition work, okay, for natural native English. Watch sitcoms, read books, focus on correct grammar and natural use of vocabulary, okay? So, yes, I do. Use the question, students. Not I will, because that's the future. This question is the general. It's in the past, in the present, in the future. So watch the tense. If it's asking you in the present tense, do you play, not will you play. Do you play, then it has to be present tense. Yes, I do. I'm not big into playing team sports, but I love going to the gym. Okay, the gym is not really playing a sport. Careful with the verb here. It's play sports, right? So you don't actually play working out. You do that. So you have to be tricky when you answer with that because you have to change the verb. So yes, I do. I'm not big into playing team sports, but I love going to the gym because it is full of energetic people, not feelings. Not if, but when, okay? Because it's a real condition and you really go to the gym. When I work out at my local gym, I feel confident and I let go of any negative thoughts. I went there yesterday for 2 hours to build confidence, to build up my confidence for today's exam. Okay, so Zarina, that's how you would turn that band 5 into a band 9, all right, with correct answer, explanation, example, natural language. So Zarina, yes, I do. I'm not big into playing team sports, but I love going to the gym because it is full of energetic people. When I work out at my local gym, I feel confident and I let go of any negative thoughts. I went there yesterday for 2 hours to build up my confidence for today's exam. That will get you a band 9 as long as you say it fluently and clearly. Okay? All right. Angel has this answer for us. I'm a badminton freak. It is not the cheapest sport, but it doesn't break your bank. All you need is a shuttlecock and 2 rockets. Also, it's a civilized sport. I mean, you bash the shuttlecock, not your opponent. Angel. Band 5.5. You have some nice vocabulary, but you have some strange and comical English that puts a smile on my face. But you definitely don't want to do that in the IELTS exam, okay? So I'm a badminton freak. That's okay. That works. It means you love playing badminton. It is not the cheapest sport, but it doesn't break your bank. Well, hopefully it doesn't break my bank because I have my money in there. It doesn't break the bank, okay, not your bank. Students, very important tip for IELTS. You can't use your. It leads to strange, awkward, poor communication, okay? So do not use your in the IELTS exam, okay? As part of the key strategies, do not use the words you, your, stuff, and things in IELTS. These are very low quality words that lead to strange and confusing communication. Okay, I say it 1,000 times. Those of you who watch these lessons regularly, we even put up put out a video on YouTube where it says like, do not use the word, right? So everybody, yes. Okay, clear on that? So do not use those words, okay? All right. Like, it will not break your bank. Oh, don't break my bank. I need my bank. I'm not in love with my bank, but I need them. Okay, so careful with that. All right. So Angel, I'm a badminton freak. It is not the cheapest sport, but it doesn't break the bank. It costs me around $100 a year to play regularly. Okay, all I need. Okay, because maybe I need more. Maybe I need a bottle of water. I need a tensor bandage for my sore shoulder. Maybe I need more than you. All I need is a shuttlecock and not 2 rockets. I know that you wouldn't say that, Angel, but just be careful with your spelling, okay? It's rackets. Okay, not rockets. So all I need is a shuttlecock and 2 rackets. Also, it is a civilized sport. I mean, I bash the shuttlecock. It's kind of aggressive to say you. I bash the shuttlecock, not my opponent. Like in boxing. Okay. Okay. Now, Angel, we've gone from a 5.5 to a 8.9. Okay. So I'm a badminton freak. It is not the cheapest sport, but it doesn't break the bank. It costs me around $100 to play it regularly. Per year, all I need is a shuttlecock and 2 rackets. Also, it's a civilized sport. I bash the shuttlecock and not my opponent, like in boxing. All right, Angel. Important corrections, okay? All right. Now, we have these other questions here, and we're going to get to them, absolutely. And we will do them via verbal speech. How? By volunteering. So I'm going to get students to volunteer through our websites, okay? So this is how you volunteer for speaking, and Chen or Carolina, if you would be so kind as to put the instructions into the chat. There we go. Carolina has the instructions for you in the chat. First step, everybody, is to go to the website, aehelp.com. That's where we have our chat interface. So let's jump over to, this is our general IELTS website here. You can use this one too, by the way. I'm just hopping over to the academic variant here. Join the Premium IELTS with the big red button. Again, all you have to do is just click it, fill out the form, you're good to go. But you can use this for free as well by clicking the green Try Demo button. Okay, again, everybody, we're an IDP affiliate, British Council partner, IELTS Test Registration Center. We help thousands of students every month. Click on your My Student account. You'll see computer-based practice exams, full online course, downloadable PDFs for study plans and practice exams. All of the videos, audio CDs for the listening sections, as well as the reading sections. And to the right here, you see the Task 1, Task 2 writing assistance. And you'll see the student partner speaking there as well. That is what we are using today. For those of you who want to book a full 30-minute IELTS speaking interview practice with me, you can click that yellow button there. And for those of you who see this red button, you can actually book your IELTS test at home through the website. We're connected with IDP. And there's also a QR code that's just below that, which will get you the app from the App Store. So everything you need in one place. Okay, student partner speaking. That's what we're using right now. Accept the terms that you will speak politely. We see Jalita. Josie, Anahita, Vishal, Nguyen, Arzu, and lots more in the chat, which is fantastic. Some of you are already volunteering, which is great. You will see me in here also. You will see me in here as Master. Okay. That's my handle, and beside my handle you will see the blue envelope, just like with everybody else. Click on that and send me a message, your message, something like I want to volunteer. Okay, you get it. Like that, right? And then I can see it. I can see those little orange numbers popping up with your messages. Okay, and then we'll get going. Okay, let's reach out to Nat. There's a purpose to my reaching out here to Nat. Let's see if Nat is available. Nat, are you there? Nat says, I want to volunteer. All right, Natalie, if you're there, let me know. Yes, okay. Natalie, I cannot hear you. Although I really wish I could, because if I'm not mistaken, you just did your IELTS exam, as far as I know. Something's going on there. Let me try with somebody else, and then I'll circle back to you. Nat, hang in there. See if you can maybe fix the issue on your end. I think it's on your end. Let me try with somebody else, okay? All right. Let me reach out to Domenico. We haven't heard from him in a while. Domenico, are you ready? One of our premium students regularly follows the classes. Let's see if Domenico is around. Domenico is in Sicily, Italy. Okay, and we're always looking for returning students and new students. So just hang in there, everybody. We've got lots of time for volunteers.
Hello.
Hi, Domenico. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. And what about you?
I am doing great also. Domenico, I know that you're an avid sportsman. I've heard you say a few times that you like working out.
Actually, sir, I'm swept up in a wave of excitement about the victory of my favorite team that progressed to the semifinals in the Champions League.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Which I don't follow the Champions League. I just don't have too much time for sports.
I'm AC Milan through and through.
Aha, AC Milan. Okay. All right. Awesome. So you're excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. And was one step away from the final. It's going to be the semifinal. We are going to take on the city rivals, so it's going to be the derby, and you know, I'm gearing up. I'm actually gearing up for that match, and I'm looking forward to watching it.
Okay, so should I imagine you with like face paint and the jersey and like flags and all that? Yeah, you got all.
Yes.
Okay, I got it. I'm picturing you. I got it, Domenico. All right, Domenico. I'm going to ask you some IELTS Part 1 questions here. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, then let's do it. Welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner. May I see your identification?
Certainly. Here is my passport, which I used to register for this exam a few weeks ago. Allow me a moment to dig it out of my pocket. Please take a look at it. Take a look at my credentials.
And what is your full name?
Well, my given name is Domenico, and my family name is Lafauci. Please refer to me as Dominic, which is the English version of my name.
Okay, Dominic. Do you work or study?
Well, I'm actually doing some volunteering at a cat shelter, which is located near my town, and studying diligently to prepare for the IELTS exam.
What do you do at the weekends?
Well, after a long week of studying intensively English, one activity I do like to do is to binge watch my to go Japanese anime series or watching football games.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. Um, Domenico or Dominic, that was awesome. Your English is improving. It's really good. And your communication is improving. So your English and your communication are improving. And of course, that's boosting your score. So when you first kind of started, it was around a 6.5. Now you're definitely in that band 8 category. So that was very good English. A little bit more fluency, a little bit of work on pronunciation, and you're going to be 8.5, nearing that 9 mark, certainly. So your fluency has improved. Your answers are becoming smoother. Your intonation is becoming more rhythmic, more English-like. That's excellent. I can tell you're putting in a lot of work. So notice a couple of really very good responses by Domenico here. When I asked, so may I see your identification? That was good. You gave it that extra layer of let me dig it out of my pocket, so you really visualized yourself getting that passport stuck in your pocket, which is fine. And then I said, do you work or study? You said, well, I'm doing some volunteering. Very nice natural language, doing some volunteering. It means you're working as a volunteer. Did you say cat shelter?
Cat shelter.
Okay, I thought that was what you said. I wasn't sure about the cat part because it's just unique, right? That's where, if you want to make sure that it's clear for the examiner, you might say something like, I love cats. I grew up with cats. So it's why
I made a slip of the tongue. I meant to say cat shelter.
Yeah, no, I got it though. All right. And then this is very important, everybody, to get high band scores, to use nice vocabulary effectively. And Domenico, you did that, for instance, here where you said, I'm studying diligently. So the difference between band 7 and band 8 is exactly this kind of language. So a band 7 candidate will say, and I'm studying for my IELTS exam. A band 8 level candidate or a band 9 level candidate will say, I'm studying diligently for my IELTS exam. So they will be able to use a word like this effectively to make the language more colorful, more precise. Okay, so I'm studying diligently. All right, that was really good. All right, and then I asked you about your weekends, and that was really good. So you said, well, when you're not studying for the IELTS and you finish that one thing, and I love how you caught yourself on that low-level word. So you said one thing, and you didn't hesitate, you didn't make it feel awkward, you just very naturally corrected yourself. You said one thing, one activity, like you literally just did a quick rewind, right? You said one thing, one activity I like to do is to binge watch. So beautiful transition, fixing that awkward one thing into a better word, the activity. That was very well done, and I caught that for sure. And then binge watch, my favorite anime, was very good. Not just say watch, but binge watch. Binge watch means to watch one episode, next episode, next episode. Domenico, when you binge watch your anime, how many episodes do you watch in one sitting?
About 10 episodes.
oh, smoke. I was thinking maybe 5, 6, but 10. All right.
I'm big on Dragon Ball. So, martial arts.
Naruto, I did that with Naruto. I watched like 10, 12 episodes in one sitting.
It was actually Naruto was actually my to go Japanese anime series when I was a high school student.
Yeah, it was a good one. All right, Domenico, you're on the right path. Not much more to give you here. Just keep doing what you're doing, okay? Keep practicing, keep volunteering. When I have some good advice for you, I will certainly let you know. But you're doing fantastic. Lots of practice, of course, right? I mean, it's cliche, but lots and lots of practice to build up that fluency. So keep doing it, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Domenico. Bye for now. All right, that was Domenico, and that was awesome. Give him a thumbs up. A really good way to kind of start off this live speaking. So the speaking is definitely working on my end. So Nat, if you can figure out what's going on your end, that would be awesome. Just because I would love to hear about your exam experience that you had. Okay. All right, let's get into it. Let's see if Dylan is around. Let's go from the bottom of the list. Dylan, are you ready? Are you there? Yes, Dylan is ready. Okay. Hi, Dylan.
Hello?
How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How about you?
I'm doing great. Dylan, I think we've talked before, have we not?
Yes, I volunteered to a reading class a few weeks ago.
I kind of remembered. Dylan, can you remind me where you are and why you're taking the IELTS exam?
I'm currently in Turkey and I'm taking IELTS exam because I want to work in UK.
I see. What would you like to do in the UK?
I graduated from veterinary faculty, so I want to be a veterinarian.
And help the animals. Well, you and Domenico have something in common there because Domenico volunteers at a cat shelter. So there we go. All right. Volunteer work, by the way, is really, really good when you want to get a job in countries like the UK or Canada. So have you done volunteer work for in the veterinary field?
Not really. My interest, my areas of interest are food hygiene or meat hygiene generally.
Okay, interesting. All right. Well, let me help you a bit. Let's get into some part one questions. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. All right, Dylan. Let's talk about sport. Do you play any sports? And if yes, which ones?
Yes, I swim in a sports complex next to my flat regularly. During my middle school years, I was a member of a professional swimming club. Even though I greatly enjoyed swimming, I didn't choose to go pro. However, I still continue to swim as there is a sense of belonging and safety whenever I'm in water.
What team sport is the most popular in your country?
I reckon football is the most beloved team sport in my country. There are local teams and clubs with a loyal fan base in almost every city. But I can't really understand the popularity of football.
Which sport do you avoid playing?
I stay away from playing football and basketball because, as I see it, injuries related to these sports have high incidence and they have possibility to leave a person with long-term problems, such as muscle or ligament sprains. One of my old friends who plays basketball suffered patellar dislocation 2 years ago. His kneecap was out of its place. He tells me that he still has the problem. It keeps happening again.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. I have to ask you, Dylan, are you reading these?
No.
I just had to ask. It was too good. Your answers are too good, Dylan. They're awesome. No,
To
really.
be honest, I practiced, I checked the questions before and I thought about how would I answer these questions. That's why
Good for
I
you.
have this fluency, I guess, because normally I have problems with gaps.
Good for you. Good for you. And that's a very smart way to study. So students, these questions, they're up on YouTube. Like, especially for this class, they're up on YouTube since Saturday. So you can read them and prepare, and that's a smart way to practice and train. So Dylan, good for you for doing that, okay? These were some fantastic answers. There were just one or two very slight or small oddities that weren't completely natural, but mostly they were fantastic. If you were to answer the questions like this, you would score a band 8.5. So it was all fantastic. Great pronunciation, fluency was good, grammatical range accuracy, vocabulary was a band 9. It was outstanding. There were just a couple of one spot especially where it was a bit awkward, but I'll show you where that was, and then you'll know that for the future. If everybody was paying attention, just repeat what Dylan said and you'll be fine. So do you play any sports? Nice answer. You said, yes, I swim. So direct answer, right? General present tense. Yes, I swim. And again, swimming is not something that we play, but it does make sense. Okay, so yes, I swim in a sports complex near my flat. So sports complex, very nice use of vocabulary there. And then great complex sentences. So you said, during my middle school years, I was part of a swim club. Even though I didn't swim competitively, I enjoy it until this day. The water makes me feel safe and calm. It was a really well explained answer. Very nice. Okay. What team sport is the most popular in your country? You said, I reckon. Reckon is kind of, for me, it's kind of a word that makes me smile because it's Southern accent of English, like Texas, like, I reckon it's football. But it's okay. Okay, I'm judgmental because I'm West Coast Northern English and not so much Southern Central U.S. English, but that's fine. The IELTS people don't judge where the accent or the vocabulary comes from, so it's a good vocabulary. I reckon means like I think or I believe it is. So I reckon football is the most beloved team sport in my country, Turkey. It was really good that you named your country. And then again, you used some really good vocabulary. You said there's a local fan base. Fan base means like a group of fans that get together and cheer for their favorite team, like I'm sure Domenico does with his buddies cheering for Milan. So that was good. And then which sports do you avoid playing? Look at this nice use of phrasal verb. I stay away. Stay away means avoid. I stay away from football and basketball. And then you used really nice words to explain the injuries. Yeah, my best friend has a terrible shoulder injury from professional basketball. So such as muscle ligament sprains. And then you said, one of my friends suffered a patellar dislocation. Yeah, and then after that, when you explained that, it got a little bit awkward with the way that you explained about his dislocated knee, but that's okay. It was tricky English there, so maybe when you have a moment, Dylan, just listen back to that and you'll hear that it's a little bit strange. Suffered a patellar dislocation. He still complains of his knee injury to this day, especially when he is active or when the weather is bad. Okay, so Dylan, just one advice here: careful not to over-explain or over-complicate, because that's when we get into some strange English, and that will take away the marks. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so just repeat this after me. He still complains of his injury to this day, especially when he is active or when the weather is bad.
He complained. Sorry. Oh my God. I felt excited.
It's okay.
He still complains of his knee injury to this day, especially when he is active or when weather is bad. When the weather is bad.
Okay, good. Dylan, I think you have outstanding English, and I think you'll do just great in the speaking section. So do what you're doing. Okay, keep preparing and keep volunteering. I know that for doctors, veterinarians, lawyers, you need some pretty high IELTS marks. The higher, the better. So good for you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, Dylan. Thanks for volunteering.
Goodbye.
All right. That was great. Thumbs up for Dylan. Really nice English. Absolutely. Okay. All right. Let's try Xaverio. I don't think we've heard from Xaverio yet. I'm trying to pick maybe a new name. Xaverio has an IELTS on the 29th as well. So Xaverio, are you ready? Here we go. Thanks for all the thumbs up, everybody. Yeah, it was a really good job by Dylan. Absolutely. All right. Xaverio, are you there? Sounds like you picked up. I don't hear your voice. Nope, I don't hear Xaverio. Xaverio, check your connection. VPNs, students, unfortunately, countries still like to block connections. I don't know why. We're a global community. So check your connection. You might need to use a VPN or different internet connection. Check into that. Okay. All right. Let's see if Mira is here. Mira, are you ready? Okay. Hopefully Mira is there. It seems like our servers are doing just great. They're very stable. Once we connect with someone with a good connection, like in Turkey or Italy or in India, then it's quite clear. I'm sure all of you can hear as well. Mira, if you're still with us, if you haven't left for a mug of tea, then let me know. Yeah, Dylan, be confident. I can see in the chat you're saying you're a bit stressed. It wasn't weird at all. Just be confident. You've got some good English there. Mira.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, Mira. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Mira, have we had a chance to chat in the past?
Yeah, I guess around last week.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. All right. Can you remind me, Mira, where you are right now and why you're doing the IELTS exam?
Yeah, currently I'm in Vietnam, and I told you that I'm willing to take my IELTS test in order to prove my fluency.
Okay, good. You're in Vietnam. Mira, are you Vietnamese or...
No, I'm from Russia, actually.
Russia, that's right. I remember. That's why I was asking, because I was like, okay, your accent definitely does not sound Vietnamese, but I have spoken to some Vietnamese candidates who sound similar to you, who have very, very clear accents. So, okay, Mira, awesome. Sorry, one more time. Why are you taking the IELTS?
So I want to prove my fluency taking IELTS test in order to complete my job properly.
Okay. What do you do for work?
So now I'm working in a kindergarten, and I take care of children.
Okay. Is it multilingual kindergarten?
Yeah, it's bilingual.
It's bilingual. What are the languages?
So the students are speaking Vietnamese and English.
Vietnamese and English. Aha. Yes, I see now. Yeah, for English teachers, the recommended IELTS score is a band 8.5 with no sections under 8. Did you know that?
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. So I have to work hard.
Yeah, you have to work hard. Yeah, because even for native speakers, that can be a challenging score to get. Absolutely. Okay, especially the writing section. It's tough to get over band 8. Okay. All right, let's do this. So let me ask you some questions about sports. Are you ready?
Definitely.
Okay, which sports do you avoid playing?
Well, I believe that I stay away from playing. I guess the games with the ball. I stay away from playing volleyball because I'm afraid that the ball suddenly hits me and it drives my nuts. So I get irritated and anxious, so I cannot concentrate properly while this activity.
Why do you think it is important to play sports regularly?
I'm pretty sure it's crucial to do physical activity in order to keep fit and keep your immune system up, as due to the aging concept. We have to do lots of physical activities in order to keep our shape.
Have you been to a professional sporting event?
Actually, once I've been to a hockey game and I really enjoyed that one. I was accompanied with my mates, with my buddies. So that was my first time participating such kind of activity, and I've enjoyed the crowd spirit and the I guess the performance.
All right. Let me give you some feedback. Okay. Mira, not bad at all. Okay. So that would be about a band 7.5, 7.5. It depends on the examiner. I think some examiners would have scored you 7, some 7.5 on those questions. I think you have great English, and I think that you should be aiming for that band 8, 8.5. You need to adjust your communication style a little bit, and you have to pay attention to your word choice, and you have to pay attention to the pronunciation of some key words. So let me give you some more specific feedback here. Which sports do you avoid playing? Why? It took you a moment to get to that answer. I think you weren't sure about what you should say, and it made it slightly awkward. It affected your fluency, and then you came up with volleyball. You don't have to tell the truth in the IELTS, okay? So the goal is just to speak fluently. So the IELTS examiner doesn't know you, they don't care to know you, and so they just want to hear good communication, good English. So you can say, I stay away from martial arts, I don't like physically violent games, so I don't do boxing, I don't do karate, I don't like football either, because I find that in these sports people are aggressive and they hurt each other. So more fluency, right? And then you eventually came up with games with a ball. Now, that's a bit awkward English. Do you know how a native speaker would say that? Not games with a ball, but they would probably say... What do you think they would say, Mira? They would simplify it. They would say... ball games.
Just the ball games?
Exactly. So I stay away from ball games. Yeah, exactly. So 9 out of 10 native speakers would probably say that as I stay away from ball games, or any game with a ball, okay? And then you said, it drives my nuts. No, that's very awkward. That could be really misinterpreted, especially if you're a guy. So it would be, it drives me nuts. Okay, so you have to be very careful with some expressions. If you make a mistake, then it's better to just use the simpler form. So it drives me nuts. Okay, so careful with that. Just repeat after me. It drives me nuts.
Drives me nuts. I see. Thank you.
Okay, so careful with that. Okay. So let's take a further look here. Why do you think it is important to do sports regularly? I liked how you sound very natural at certain times. Like when you said here, I'm pretty sure it's crucial to do physical activity to keep, and then you said keep fit. It's a fast sound. Instead of keep feet, keep fit. Can you repeat after me? Do physical activity to keep fit.
Keep fit.
Keep fit. Yeah, it's almost like you're spitting that word, fit. Okay, fit. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a short, tough pronunciation. I'm pretty sure it's crucial. Instead of the word crucial, when you're talking about physical activity, especially, and life, there's a better form of this word here. Okay.
Vital.
Exactly, because vitality is our life energy, right? So vital. So I'm pretty sure it's vital to do physical activity to keep fit. Now, although pretty sure it sounds natural, I would be sure about this. I'm sure. Or I would simply go, it is vital. Because you're not pretty sure, you're sure. You know this, right, Mira?
Sure.
Right. So even though, and this is an important tip for everybody, especially for band 8, band 9, you don't want to just sound natural, but you also want to sound like an expert communicator, because that's the band 9. Band 9 is expert level of English, which means you're not just sounding natural, but you're using very accurate language. So in this case, it is vital is more accurate than I'm pretty sure. So it is vital to do physical activity to keep fit. We have to do lots of physical exercise, not to keep our shape, but keep in shape. Okay? So we have to do lots of physical activities to keep in shape. And in my neck of the woods, we say stay in shape instead of keep in shape. But keep in shape, I have heard it from other English speakers in other parts of the world, so it's okay. All right. So Mira, careful. What you need to do, and this is tricky because you're at those high levels of English, okay? So just like Dylan. So what you have to do to correct these mistakes is record yourself, speak with native speakers like what you're doing right now, and get these small adjustments, and then really practice them after. So don't wait until the next month or next year for the same situation to happen where you have to be like, oh yeah, what did he say that was? It's keep in shape. So practice it right after, go through it again, have a discussion on the topic of sports with somebody, okay?
All right.
Make sense?
Sure.
All right. And thank you for teaching all those cute little kids in Vietnam English. That's awesome. You have a great job.
Oh, the cutest. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right. Bye, Mira. Have a great day.
Yeah. Enjoy your evening.
All right. I have 2 little girls. One of them is in grade 1. She was in kindergarten last year, and my other one is 2. So I have a lot of respect for kindergarten teachers. It's no small feat to care for and teach 10, 20 little 5-year-olds. It's incredible. All right, so big thumbs up for Mira. Big thumbs up for Mira. That's awesome. Okay. All right. Let's try somebody else here. Let's try. Okay. Let's see if Dewey is around today. Dewey, are you there? Okay, let's see if Dewey is there. Dewey says, I'm around here. Dewey, just simply, I'm around. We wouldn't say here, just I'm around.
Hi, Adrian. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you doing, Dewey?
To be honest, I'm busy as a bee for the last couple of weeks.
Busy as a bee. Okay. Yeah. And just a quick correction right off the bat, Dewey. If somebody's saying, are you around? Then you say, I'm around. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't say here, I'm around, or I'm around this weekend, or I'm around now. Yes. Okay. Dewey, there's a reason I picked you after Mira. I thought it would be interesting. I know you're from Vietnam originally, right? You're Vietnamese.
Yeah.
And you live in Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really cool because you have Mira, who is Russian, living in Vietnam, teaching English to Vietnamese kindergartners. And then we have you, who is in Vietnamese, living in Paris, and you're building buildings as an architect engineer in Paris, right?
Yeah.
I want to make a point here. I'm taking a moment here, Dewey, to make a point. The world is international, and although in the news we still get these hints of nationalism, like countries fighting to maintain their identities and so on, we're becoming global. We're becoming a unified human global planet through the internet.
Village.
Global village, absolutely. There's no stopping it. English is the primary language of that global village. So I just wanted to take a moment to really, show that example with you and Mira, and how important it is to grow into this new world that's going to be very beautiful when we all work together and communicate effectively.
I definitely agree with you because this globalization actually offered me the chance to go to France to work and to communicate with you from Canada. So.
And here I am talking. Yeah, here I am talking to you from Canada. Yeah, it reminds me of an interesting natural occurrence that I learned about in anthropology in university, which is called convergent and divergent evolution. So, and it happens socially, it happens physically. Divergent evolution is when we split apart as a species, and convergent is when we come together. And I definitely think that right now we are in our convergent phase of evolution, where we're becoming a very unified species and group of people across the globe, and that's amazing. So, all right. Aside from that little personal note, let's get into some questions. Are you ready, Dewey?
Yeah, I think so. I'm ready.
All right. Let's talk about sports. Do you play any sports?
Yes, I do. I play football and I run regularly, at least twice a week. And I think it's great activities because it helps me to stay healthy and physically fit.
What team sports are the most popular in your country?
I think football is the most prevalent sport in France, where I'm living at the moment. And there are many big clubs, big football clubs in almost every cities in France.
If you could try a new sport, what would you choose?
Well, that's an interesting question. If given a chance to do so, I think I would try hockey because I've never done that before, and I watched it several times in TV, and it seemed a lot of fun.
Okay, that is the end of part 1. We will now continue with part 2. All right, that's really good, Dewey. I'm going to give you some feedback here.
Yep.
Let me just finish here. Good. Okay. All right, Dewey, that's awesome. You're becoming calm, confident, fluent, accurate. You're fixing your small mistakes that you made before. I think, interestingly, before you had somewhat similar mistakes as, for example, Mira just had, or Dylan just had, with some oddities in the language and so forth. But it seems like you're really starting to refine those and catch those before you make them. So that's excellent. I would be leaning towards a band 9. I think if you kept your English this direction, some examiners might still score you an 8.5, depending on how strict they are with some very tiny slips. But I think that some examiners at this point would be like, man, it's band 9 so far. It has all the elements that they're looking for: natural language, complex language, fluent, original language, use of idioms, accurate answers. So it checks all the boxes that they're looking for in the IELTS exam for that expert level of language. Let me go back and explain why. So even the way you buy time, I want to really emphasize this with your responses for everybody. So the way that you think about what you are going to say, is it natural? Is it the way an expert user would do it? And here I said, what team sport is the most popular in your country? And I had to do this because the autocorrect was trying to correct me. But you said, I think football. And you stretched that word think. You really stretched it to like 3 seconds. You're like, I think. That's exactly how a native speaker would do it. So
yeah, you got me there.
Yeah. So if somebody were trying to come up with the right answer naturally at the expert level, this is how they would do it. They would say, I think football, right? So that was very natural. That kind of a stretching of that word and then giving me the answer is expert level of communication. I think football is the most prevalent. And then here you give me a word that really shows me your strength of the language. So prevalent means it's the most popular, and it's a unique, high level, clear vocabulary, well used in the context. So most prevalent. Now, in a strange way, that's actually a mistake, because we wouldn't say most, or sorry, I should say technically, we don't use most with prevalent. We just say prevalent because prevalent includes most. But in spoken English, we make these mistakes naturally. So you would hear a native speaker at the expert level say most prevalent, even though it's technically incorrect. So I think is the prevalent sport in France would be the technically correct way, but it's not a mistake. Where I'm living at the moment, originally I'm from Vietnam. There I would say basketball is slightly more popular. Okay, we can always improve to guarantee the band 9, but again, the direction is correct. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So very nicely put. Let's see. If you could try a new sport, what would you choose? And then you said, that's an interesting question. Again, a nice way to buy some time. And then you reflected the question. Students, to get high scores, you want to reflect. So if given the chance, that was really good. You said, if given the chance, I think I would try hockey because I have never tried it before. Notice Dewey's use of present perfect. I have never tried it before, but I have seen it before. So you doubled up on that present perfect. That's a really good way to show the examiner that you're very comfortable using advanced grammar. Okay. I have never tried it before, but I have seen it before on TV and it seemed like a lot of fun. Okay, now here with your fluency, with your English, Dewey, you should be finishing a little bit longer. So your answers were a little bit on the short side. And I think if you can maintain for one more sentence at this level, you guarantee yourself the band 9. Why is hockey fun?
Because it's a team sport, and it's a very adventurous sport, I think. So
okay,
it would give me.
Dewey, I'm going to interrupt you here. I'm going to interrupt you here just because I'm going to steer you into a better direction. Students, when you're reaching these higher levels, and today it's kind of an example of, how to get from higher to even higher levels with Dewey and with Mira and with Dylan. Everybody is scoring so well, and with Domenico. So think about what's unique. So what is unique about hockey? What makes hockey unique compared to other team sports?
Because it's a very exotic sport from where I'm from, Vietnam.
Yeah, okay, that's true too, but maybe that's a little bit too complex to express. Just think about it. So hockey, what do you do in hockey that you don't really do in other sports? Dew says playing in the rink, but there's something you have.
Stick.
You have a stick, but you have, what are you standing on? I think that's what makes it more unique.
Yeah. I don't know what is called in English.
That's the tricky part, right? Skates. You're on skates.
Yeah, skates.
Right? So on TV, and it seems like a lot of fun because it's an extremely fast sport.
Yeah.
Fast sport played on ice skates. Okay? That's what makes it really unique, right? Just sliding around on those skates. So that's the kind of language that would guarantee you the band 9. So let's try this one more time. That's an interesting question. If given the chance, I think I would try hockey because I have never tried it before, but I have seen it on TV and it seemed like a ton of fun. It's extremely fast and it's played on ice skates. Dewey, if you could try a new sport, what would you choose?
That's an interesting question. If given the chance, I think I would try hockey because I have never tried it before, but I have seen it before on TV and it seemed a lot of fun. It is an extremely fast sport and it is played on ice skates.
There you go. And then you ensure yourself that band 9. They're the examiners like, oh, okay, this person really can get into these answers very fluently and accurately. So Dewey, that's what you want to practice. Push yourself for that one more sentence, that +1, okay?
Okay, thank you very much, Adrian.
All right. Good work, Dewey. Thank you for sharing your English with us.
I hope I would have time to join your part 2 and part 3 this weekend because I was pretty busy the last couple of weeks.
I would love to see you there. Bye for now, Dewey.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All right, that was Dewey in France from Vietnam, building buildings. Students, that's all the time I have for today, but I encourage you to practice with each other. So I know sometimes, if you're like, you didn't get a chance, then you're like, I didn't get a chance today, like Bogdan or Anahita or Phuong, who come here regularly, and some of you new students. But hey, don't be discouraged. I'm one person. So many of you have awesome language skills, like you heard today from our volunteers, and you should speak to each other. So send each other a message and say, hey, would you like to try some questions with me? There are actually questions on this page up here, okay? So you can click on those links, and then there's your questions, okay? So there you go. Use the chat with each other. It's primarily for student partner speaking, okay? To access all of the materials on the websites, make sure to join our premium IELTS package by clicking that big red button. It's a one-time payment and you get lifetime access, okay? It's just above my head. For general IELTS students, it's the green background. The reading section and the writing section are a bit different, so check that out, okay? Carolina, thank you. Alexi, you showed up. There you are. Thank you for our moderators. Thank you for our members. Thank you for our viewers. You're all fantastic, beautiful people. And as you can see, you're in many different parts of the world, helping to bring humanity one step closer to becoming a unified global village, and to help us get into that next step of our cultural, social evolution. And that's amazing, students. So I'm happy to be a part of that journey with you, and I definitely recommend using our websites and coming to these live classes. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. I will be back tomorrow with reading and I believe listening. So join me for that. Much love to all of you wherever you are in the world. Bye for now.